up. The playoffs are here, and so is Anthony Mason. We'll recap the regular season that brings New York back to the postseason for a 10th straight year. Plus, we'll analyze the matchups in this opening round, best of 5 from Madison Square Garden. This is the MCS Cannon Knicks game night. For the last 48 hours, the New York Rangers have used the unparalleled emotion and energy of Madison Square Garden, getting 2 victories in their opening round series. Tonight, the New York Knicks hope to do exactly the same thing, draw from the Garden crowd. And good evening, everybody. It is with great anticipation that we welcome you to Madison Square Garden. I'm Al Trowing. This is an opening round matchup and a tough draw for the Knicks. It's a 3 out of 5. Game 2 Saturday here at the Garden. Game Monday in Charlotte, where the Knicks have struggled to win. Let's get started. Lots to talk about. Let's start things off with the Knicks opening lineup. It is Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Oakley, Childs, and Houston. Everybody's healthy. As far as reserves go, the Knicks have the same cast of characters, but leading the list is John Starks. More on him a little bit later. And a lot of people have gone and said that this regular season wasn't that spectacular. Well, only Pat Riley and Red Holtzman had more wins in a season. That was 60. The franchise did it twice. At home, the Knicks had their best home record since the year they went to the finals, and they had the best defense in the NBA. Now we switch it over to the Charlotte Hornets. In the backcourt, Muggsy Bogues will play with a sore hamstring. Ricky Pierce, an important late-season acquisition, brings shooting, and the Hornets have a lot of that. Off the bench, they've got not as much depth as the New York Knicks. Matt Geiger is a big question mark. He's had back problems with back surgery coming in the month of January. As for numbers, well, they're pretty impressive for Charlotte. They can shoot, both from the field, from the line, beyond the stripe, and they can pass the ball. Muggsy Bogues does that. A franchise best 54 wins. Dave Cowan's getting a lot of credit for that. So is Vlade Divac, and so is Anthony Mason. This is the city in which he grew up, and of course he made his mark with the New York Knicks. Mason returning to Madison Square Garden, adding a lot of spark to this playoff series, and he's gone back to the head sculpture. And if you look carefully, you can see he's making a response to everybody who's had something to say about him, reminding us there's only one judge.
You know, the fact is the truth. It's only one judge. You know, a lot of people try to judge Mason when I was here, try to judge me after I left, make all kind of judgments and comparisons, and it's only one judge, so that shows how much stock I take in what y'all say about me, what Nick say about me, and anybody else.
Does it feel any different coming into the Garden as an opposition than it did when you were here?
It did at first, but now it's just, you know, it's just become custom. We've been in here twice, and this is the 3rd time. This is important. As a playoffs, we're going to come out and play hard.
When you've had success against the team like you guys have during the regular season, does that make it a little bit more comfortable playing them in the playoffs?
You definitely know that you can beat them, but then you also know it's like a wounded dog. They're going to come out and fighting and scratching and playing hard because they know we can beat them, and they might take their game up to another level. So we got to come out and take our game up to another level.
Anthony Mason was brief, but not this season. He went the full distance, recording 16 points a game and 11 rebounds and leading the Hornets to the best season in franchise history. As for the trade that sent him from the Knicks to Charlotte, well, he took a lot of that personally, and it'll be on his mind here tonight. There is, after all, no more anxious person in Madison Square Garden at this moment than Anthony Mason. He has always said he wants the Knicks. And if you look at the last game of their regular season against the Milwaukee Bucks, you could make an argument that the Hornets backed off, because if they lost this game, they would get New York. Look at the Matador defense. It is not the way the Charlotte Hornets finished their season. Now, Anthony Mason has gotten his wish.
Sometimes, you know, what you ask for, you might get, and they're going to get what they ask for.
No matter who wants us, they want us, they got us. We just going out and playing our game.
Mason's a competitor. You know, I know he want to play against us, and Charlotte feel that they can beat us, and that's fine. You know, I always say when you want something that's sweet until you taste it and see that it's sour, then you'll know what's up. And, you know, we'll see once the time comes if they truly wanted to play us.
Part of Mason's inspiration comes from bitterness. He believes that Patrick Ewing may have tried to get him traded, or, in the very least, didn't stop the trade. He said he had no respect for what he thought Ewing did behind his back.
When I've talked to him, he never said anything to me about it. So, you know, I can't comment on it. I know I carry a lot of clout in New York, but I don't think I carry that much clout.
We'll have have more on how Anthony Mason figures in the matchups of this series later on Knicks game night. All the regular season, John Starks accepted his new role and coming off the bench with fervor and enthusiasm. And everyone, well, almost everyone in the NBA took notice. Yesterday, John was given the NBA's Sixth-Man Award. And look at the votes. Out of 115, he got 84 and spoke to us as he beat Tony Kukoc of Chicago about the honor and what it means to him.
It was an honor to be voted in by the news writers, sports writers rather, and you know, it just feels good that it came within a team concept. You know, I always say that individual awards comes as teams are successful, and we've been very successful this year. So I got a shot, you know, a good chance for everybody to see, you know, how successful I was off the bench.
Preseason in Charleston, South Carolina, Jeff Van Gundy proudly issued the team slogan hats and shirts. They said 12 men, 1 goal. Well, now for the playoffs, the Knicks have a new slogan. It's Make 'em Feel Ya. And here at the Garden, they were all wearing them during warm-ups. And it makes you wonder, how did this whole thing get started?
I'm going to give John Starks his TV time. He said it first, make 'em feel you. That's our motto through the whole series, through the whole playoffs. Get to the championship. Make the opposing team feel you.
Make them feel you. Well, it was a game in Charlotte where we was down, I think, by like 20 or so. And I just felt that we wasn't playing as hard as we possibly could. And for a whole half, I was just hollering, make them feel you, make them feel you. And I think it sunk into our head. And finally, we got up into him and came back. And Glenn Rice picked up you know, got a gift where he shot a 3 and sent it in overtime, and they finally won the game. But from that point on, we've been, you know, playing that type of basketball.
Jeff made the point of making us aware of it again, you know, in our meeting. But, you know, I think it's a good statement because it's simple and you know what it means. You know, if we can just, you know, make, like you said, make them feel us. You know?
Make them feel you. That's just come with all, you know, a lot of energy, effort.